Well, there are some alarming new numbers about how many teachers are facing violence in their classrooms. The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario says 70% of its teachers have seen or experienced violence at school. WorkSafe BC reports 115 teachers take time off every year because of violence. And in Nova Scotia, there were 1,800 violent incidents against teachers reported just last year. Most of these assaults were in elementary schools. For more on this story, we're joined by the president of the Canadian Teachers Federation, Mark Ramsankar. He joins us from Ottawa this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, we're hearing some of these injuries are, being kicked, being shoved, being threatened. Some teachers reported now wearing Kevlar vests to class. How is it injuries this significant are being done by kids as young as 5, 6, and 7?
Well, I'd first like to start by suggesting that I applaud the Ontario teachers for coming out with this kind of data, because it's really helping us get a clear picture of what today's classrooms are looking at. When you're talking about young children with special needs and the types of activities and baggage that they bring to classes, it makes for very unique, complex classrooms right now.
And in Ontario, they have what's called integrated classrooms, where they have kids with special needs in the regular classroom. So how does that contribute to some of these numbers?
Well, the inclusion across the country that we're seeing with many of our member organizations have the classroom starting to take on a new dynamic. Teachers across the country are reporting incidences of violence from younger children because the supports that are in the classrooms for teachers to work with some of the unique needs of these children are lacking.
So it's also affecting students, I understand, as well, not just teachers who are subjected to the violence, but also students who are in the classroom witnessing what's going on.
Well, we're seeing that over the last number of years. We've really started to take a look at bullying of children and looking at how we're dealing with the safety and caring of children in their teaching and learning environments. But now with this new data that's being collected across the country, we are seeing that teachers are becoming more and more subject to incidents of violence in the classroom from children. And we're looking at the ways that we can support them and try to continue to create safe and caring learning environments.
Well, what does the Canadian Teachers Federation see as some possible solutions to these numbers?
Well, some of the things that we'd be looking at is if we're going to continue with inclusion across the country, we'd like to see boards supporting through resourcing, maybe human and others, in order to be able to support the teachers working with the unique needs of the children. Because when you're talking about a classroom with very diverse needs, when we're looking at children, what we want to do is create that environment that's nurturing and keep them supported so that their educational needs can be met, but that teachers would also be able to work with the unique problems that some of the children have.
What recourse do teachers have right now, Mark?
Well, right now it's recording and working with parents and administration within the school to try and deal with the children. When we're talking about how a classroom is set, a concern for a teacher would be the safety of the child themselves, the safety of the other children around them, and the safety for the teacher themselves. So what you're doing is reporting the incidences and trying to find the resources to be able to support that child.
Mark Ramsankar joining us from Ottawa this morning. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.